A Question of Trust follows Horace Danby, a careful burglar who finances his passion for rare books by committing one safe robbery each year. During a theft at Shotover Grange, he is confronted by a clever woman he assumes is the owner's wife. To avoid prison, Horace opens the safe for her, only to realize later that she was a fellow thief who framed him. Now a prison librarian, he reflects bitterly on the illusion of trust and honor among criminals. The story highlights deception and irony, showing how even an experienced criminal can be undone by fear and misjudgment. Ever heard the old saying that it takes a thief to catch a thief? Look at the weathered confidential stamp and the mission brief clipped to this file folder. We aren't just reading a story today. We are stepping into the role of detectives investigating a case where two criminals collide. The central puzzle here isn't just about who stole the jewels, but whether there is truly any honor among thieves when the stakes get high. Your job is to look past the surface and uncover the truth hidden in the evidence. Meet our prime suspect, a man who looks like your average friendly neighbor rather than a criminal mastermind. Notice how the profile highlights his success as a locksmith and his reputation as a good, honest citizen, yet explicitly notes he is not completely honest. There is a fascinating crack in his armor here. His physical weakness is hay fever, but his moral weakness is the double life he leads. In literature, characters are rarely black and white, so pay close attention to this duality of a lawbreaker who builds locks for a living. Most criminals steal for greed, but this thief steals for love, specifically a consuming passion for rare, expensive books. Follow the arrows to trace his annual ritual, from meticulously studying the target house to the execution of the theft. This isn't a chaotic smash and grab, it's a disciplined cyclical process designed to fund his hobby for exactly 12 months, without hurting a soul. Understanding this motive is crucial because it explains why he takes risks and, ultimately, where his emotional blind spots might lie. Even the most perfect plan has a hidden enemy, and sometimes it is right under your nose. Trace Horace's path through the kitchen door and note the red arrow pointing to that large bowl of flowers on the drawing room table. He successfully neutralized the guard dog, Sherry, by using her name, but he couldn't charm his own biology when faced with that pollen. This map reminds us that in narrative structure, small environmental details often trigger the biggest, most disastrous turning points in the plot. Imagine the sheer terror of hearing a voice when you are absolutely certain you are alone in a house. Look at the shadow play here. Horace is on his knees, tools out, completely vulnerable when that figure suddenly appears in the doorway. That instinctive, polite answer about hay fever proves he wasn't ready for a confrontation. His guard is down, and the element of surprise has totally shifted the power dynamic. This is the classic inciting incident that forces the protagonist to improvise, usually leading to a fatal error in judgment. Confidence is often the best disguise a person can wear, even better than a mask. Observe the lady's relaxed demeanor and the way she commands the room, and the dog, with total authority. She isn't screaming for the police, she is amused, creating an undeniable aura of ownership that instantly convinces Horace he is the intruder and she is the victim. Characterization isn't just about who people are, but who they pretend to be, and she is playing the role of mistress of the house to perfection. This is a chess match where one player doesn't even realize they are already losing pieces. Look at how the arrows show her countering every one of Horace's desperate defensive moves, with psychological manipulation. While he begs and threatens weakly, she uses his own fear of prison to corner him, ironically appealing to a sense of morality to protect society. This exchange proves that in a battle of wits, the person who remains calm controls the reality of the situation. A great con artist leads you exactly where they want you to go, all while making you think it was your idea. Follow the steps downward, starting with how she establishes authority and ending with the trap where she promises him safety. She manufactures a crisis, forgetting the combination that only Horace's unique skills can solve, turning his crime into a favor for a damsel in distress. This structure shows us that effective manipulation relies on creating a win-win scenario that is actually a lose-lose for the victim. It is amazing how a lifetime of caution can be undone by a single second of politeness. Focus your eyes on the lighter in the image and the specific note about the gloves coming off. In his eagerness to please this charming woman and secure his freedom, Horace abandons the one rule that kept him safe: never leave fingerprints. This is the pivotal moment where emotional manipulation triumphs over professional discipline, sealing his fate. The truth has a nasty habit of catching up with us, often right when we feel safest. Notice the stark contrast between the happy escape and the sudden arrest just days later, driven by the damning evidence of his own fingerprints. The arrival of the real wife, an older, sharp-tongued woman, shatters the illusion, proving that Horace's charming hostess was actually a rival thief. Plot twists work best when they recontextualize everything that came before, turning a romantic encounter into a calculated setup. Be careful what you wish for, because you might just get it in the most ironic way possible. Look at Horace behind bars, now working as a librarian, surrounded by the very books he risked his freedom to collect. The ultimate irony is that he finally has access to all the literature he loves, but he has lost the freedom to enjoy it on his own terms. Irony is a powerful literary device that highlights the painful gap between our expectations and the harsh reality of our actions. Trust is a dangerous currency in the world of crime, and Horace spent it on the wrong person. Examine the branch labeled Honor Among Thieves and how it connects to the lady's complete lack of loyalty. The story dismantles the romantic idea of a criminal code. The lady uses Horace's own principles against him while having none of her own. Themes are the soul of a story, and here we learn that appearance is rarely reality, a crucial lesson for both detectives and readers. Words leave footprints just like shoes do, and we can track the crime through the language used. Focus on the term deceive in the third window and how it defines the lady's entire persona compared to Horace's meticulous nature. Horace was careful with things, but the lady was a master of persuasion with people, showing that emotional intelligence often beats technical skill. Vocabulary isn't just for tests. It gives us the precise tools to describe exactly how a character succeeds or fails. Now that you have seen the evidence and heard the testimony, the gavel is in your hand. Read the questions posed to the jury about whether Horace deserved his punishment or if he was unfairly tricked. You must weigh his meticulous planning against his naive trust, deciding if he is a victim of a better thief or simply a criminal finally caught in the act. Literature asks us to make moral judgments, pushing us to defend our opinions with evidence rather than just feelings. How do we describe a man who is both a good citizen and a professional breaker of laws? Look at the scales balancing his dishonest actions against his respectable passion for high art. The report concludes that he lives a dual life, using the profits of crime to fund a lifestyle that makes him appear trustworthy to the world. Writing a strong character analysis requires finding this core contradiction, the internal conflict that drives the external action. We started with a lock, but we end with a question that has no key. Consider the final statement on the folder, noting Horace's anger whenever someone mentions honor among thieves. He unlocked the safe, but he failed to unlock the mystery of human nature, leading to his betrayal by a fellow professional who was simply more ruthless. The story leaves us wondering, in a world full of masks, how do we ever truly know who is worthy of our trust? If this lesson helped you, please like and share it with others who may benefit. Subscribe to Pragna Education for more clear, concept-driven learning. Keep learning, keep growing with wisdom.